under the radar, and over the phone, they convince you they know what the problem is, but they really don't. So you just bring it in because you heard they were cheap. Big mistake.
Bob's Garage, #1 in successful emission repairs from the north side of Chicago to Milwaukee. Call 847-662-2555 for an appointment, or stop by Bob's Garage on Green Bay Road, about a mile north of Grand Avenue on the Gurnee-Waukegan border.
Look for the checkerboard roof.
WIIL rock, live and local.
95 WIIL Rock, Miller Lite 501 Club Party this Friday. We're hanging out at the de facto City Hall of Johnsburg. I'm talking about Halftime Bar and Grill.
Tickets for you to win to go see In This Moment, Ice Nine Kills, and Avatar, along with Machine Head. And your big surprise, Tom.
Leah's got a big surprise. I don't know what it is.
It's me. I'm going to be there.
Yay. 501 this Friday. Halftime Bar and Grills on Johnsburg Road in Johnsburg. We'll have Miller Lite on special, and we'll get the weekend rolling with 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station.
Ask a
Jeweler.
We know it.
Ask a
Jeweler.
Ask a
Jeweler.
Ask a
Jeweler.
Ask a
Jeweler.
Ask a
Jeweler. We never usually get that right. It was easy. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake, and normally when we have a guest, we're like, I don't know
What do
sing.
you call them?
Yeah, so we sing different.
Is there another name for jeweler? Or
Yes, it is. I don't know. Like if you go to the pharmacist, it's also called a
tech?
an apothecary.
No,
It's an
never heard.
It's an apothecary. Is there another? If you go to a hat store, it's a
I don't know.
haberdashery.
Stop.
Yeah, it's a haberdashery.
You're a lie. Are
That's
you
the
being
thing.
for real?
That's the thing. Computer, what's a haberdashery? She'll know.
A haberdashery is a store that sells men's accessories like ties, hats, gloves, and other clothing
It's a
accessories.
haberdashery.
So he's a jeweler
He's a
dashery?
jeweler, and is there another fancy word for jeweler? Jeweler's pretty
jewelry,
fancy.
design. We're designers also.
Designers.
So
okay.
no. You know what designers? I mean, you can
Yeah,
design
we
anything.
can design anything.
They're not
yeah,
building
that's-
battleships there. Why did we lose the war? Well, we went to Steve in Crystal Lake at Dalzell, and
Turns out gold doesn't
turns
float.
out it's floated. We put it in the water. It floated for like a microsecond. It's on the bottom of the ocean now. And we all have to learn a new language. We lost the war. Here's the guy who lost us World War III, Steve from Dalzell Jewelers. And Crystal Lake. Hey.
Welcome, Steve.
Welcome to
Yeah,
the show. So
Thanks.
this is where I went and got the ring for Sweet Sweet Yola, and it worked. So thank you very much.
No problem. You're out of trouble for what, another week?
At
And then-
least.
okay. All
At
right.
least. So when we first started going out, we went in. She had a haircut in Crystal Lake. So, and we parked right. And I knew Steve from previously. He had advertised on the show and stuff like that. I knew him, and I'm like, oh, let's go in here. So we went in there, and we ended up. It was like our second week together, second or third, I don't know. And we went in and we designed a ring. Like we're like, oh, we're looking at engagement rings. We weren't really. I mean, I could, yeah. She thought it was weird that I was saying I love you by that point. At that point,
She's still there.
yeah, but yeah. So we went in and we basically went through the design process for an engagement ring
Without even knowing if you were going to have
Well,
week
I
3.
knew. I knew in my heart that we would be together forever. She was it. I really did. I'm like, this is not. But she's like, oh, we're just being idiots. So we designed it, and then 2 years later, or year and a half, whatever, it's time for question popping.
And the ring was already designed for you. So I don't get what the struggle was
but
here.
we had talked more about rings and this and that. There had been other conversations about rings. So I had to take who did I go with in and see?
You're working with Diana. Yep.
Diana.
Yep.
So I sent Diana, like, she's like, oh, these people are deadbeats. Like a year and a half later, she gets an email from me with the design of the ring. I'm like, all right, time to
Let's do this. Yeah.
But we had talked about all the ring stuff. So I went in and I talked to Steve and we modified it based on conversations that Yola and I had had.
Yeah.
And then she literally, and she was talking on the trip, on the fall road trip, on the cruise with people about, engagement rings and things like that. And she was saying it's the one thing that somebody else buys for you that you have no say in. So they got to get it right. That's where the pressure comes in, is you're buying something for somebody else. And you don't know if you're going to get it right. That's why you need to go and see somebody, whether you're picking it out of the display case or you're having it made like I did. you must get a lot of people that come in and they're like, and Yola's saying that on the trip, and I'm like, well, except in some cases, she's like, what the hell are you talking about? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, you designed your ring. Yeah, it's a good trick. It's a fun date. Go in, get a ring designed, and maybe buy it, or get rid of the hag. It must, like, a lot of people must come in. Guys are lost.
Yeah,
right?
it's there's different ways of doing it. If you pay attention, and most of them will send you pictures and things like that. Pay attention
and
say, yeah, well,
there's the problem.
Therein lies the problem. But guys will come in. Well, she likes this part of this one, this part of that one, this part of that one. We draw it up until we get it right, and they say, yep, that's it. And then we build it, and we do it all right there.
Yeah, they do it in shop in house there. And the thing is, you don't know what it's going to look like. So they send you this 3D rendering,
right?
And then you guys will make. I didn't go to this, but you'll make like a wax one or something.
Yep. We'll make a 3D model out of wax, just so if you want to see the wax to see if it's exactly right. But a lot of people can do it from our drawings. But yeah, the wax is great because then you have a 3D model. You can touch it, play with it.
Decide if that's what you want, make modifications.
If you want to tweak it, then we can fix it.
And then you go to production. So
yeah.
I was a little behind. I was slow. I was panicked. We were going on a cruise, and I got the ring the day before the cruise.
Ooh.
I was panicked. You must
How
get a lot
long
of guys.
does it take?
How long does it normally take from for walking through the door to having the ring be available?
Ideally, I'd like 4 weeks, but we can do it faster if we have to.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that. Blame that on somebody else.
And because the guys that build them are like, Steve, shut up. 4 weeks. What? So, and then you go in and you pick it up, and if I got it, the trick is tricking her into finding out what her ring size is. I did that at another event or whatever, because I wasn't sure of the size a year and a half ago or whatever. And she needed a 6, but I got a 6.5 because I didn't want to be on a cruise ship and have the ring not go on her finger in the middle of you. So I got a 6. I got a 6.5, but I'll bring it in, and you guys, and the resizing it is part of the thing.
Yep, no problem. I figure if you buy a ring from us, it ought to fit. So,
yeah. So how do you make it small? Like, what do you squish it, or what do you? I don't know.
So what we do is we actually cut the bottom of the ring, the shank underneath it.
Yeah.
And a full size is about 2.2 millimeters. We take that out, weld it back together, and you can't even tell.
Okay. We're getting a half size thing out, so we're getting 1.1 millimeters.
1.1 millimeters. Yeah, about the width of a saw blade.
That's crazy. Yeah. How long does that take?
20 minutes, half hour.
Oh, okay. I thought it had to be without the ring for weeks or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
We can do it quick.
Because I want it back on her. I put a ring on it. I want her to get away from her, boys. Get away from her. If you have questions, because this was one of the most stressful. It went from, and I'm not making this up, this was one of the most stressful things of my life because I wanted to get it right. It's very important.
Yeah, it is an important thing, but we're good at that. We can walk you through it, and it's not a problem.
You made it so easy. And then when I got the ring and I had it, and it was so beautiful, and I was going to propose, it was one of the best and happiest. Carrying it around, I was just like gleeful. And then when it worked, when I put it on her and she said yes,
that's even better.
Because you talk about 2.2 millimeters, there was 2.2 seconds where she didn't answer, but it felt like a week and a half. And I'm like, oh, but the ring was right. If she had said no, it wasn't the ring's fault, but she said yes. We'll talk about guys saying no coming up. You got a question for a jeweler if you're going through something like this, or you have any other jewelry questions? Steve's been in the game for how long? You been doing it?
Oh, geez, since the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You got a question, he's got an answer. Ask a jeweler. Text your questions in now. Any jewelry questions. 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword Steve is here from. It's Dalzell Jewelers.
Dalzell Jewelers.
Yep. Downtown Crystal Lake. You got a question, text it in now. Ask a jeweler on the way from WIIL Rock. Hardy on 95 Will Rock, the Rock Station, 815 Will Rock Morning Show. Tom and Leah. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers. Ask a jeweler. You got questions. Text them in now to 815-283-0095 studio, the keyword, or you can give us a call at 800-223-9510. We'll get to those questions coming up. I'm going to ask the big question, the main question, the one that's on everybody's mind about his business. It's an interesting one, and it's coming up next. 816.
Rain today, high of 65, 61 overnight, and tomorrow the rain continues with a high near 70. It's 60 in Lake Moore and 61 in Lake Bluff.
All right. Will Rock Morning Show. Thanks to the Ray and Raymond Auto Group in Fox Lake and Antioch. Don't forget, tomorrow night, kickoff of the weekly games for the NFL. You want to be in on your picks for the 95 Will Rock Free Pro Football Challenge. If you get the most correct, you win that gift card for Belo's Steakhouse and Bar. That is, Viola and I, we're close on having a place, and Belo's is in the running. So love going there. Family-owned Farm to Fork Steakhouse in Lake Zurich. Go to 95willrock.com, hit the win stuff page. If you make the most correct picks any given week, you win the gift certificate. Go before the Thursday night game and make your picks so you don't get that wrong. And even if you miss that game, you can still probably win the thing if you get the rest right. But 95willrock.com for the win stuff page, and get those picks in before kickoff tomorrow night. You're singing along. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers.
How do you
in
not?
Crystal Lake. It's stuck in my. It'll be one of those earworms. Yeah, it'll get stuck in my head. It's Chapel of Love. And if you're watching on TomTube, the music doesn't go through because of licensing, so you just hear Leah going a cappella, going. They don't hear the music. It's just going because we don't send the music to the video because.
Oh shoot!
You know, I get you rid of those earworms. Do you know, Steve? Do you know?
Chew gum.
Turn it up.
Well, give him the answer. Why don't you? I was going to see if he knew it.
Oh.
He said, turn it up. No, that's how you make it worse. Yeah, if you chew gum, supposedly the rhythm of the gum chewing knocks the song out of your head.
but
I've never
here-
tried
That's
it.
good to know.
This,
never
the
tried it.
earworms always happen to me when I'm laying in bed or in the middle of the night when I wake up, and
Yeah.
I don't want to chew gum while I'm laying down.
Hey, baby.
It's
Good
never
night.
a song you want either.
And then you swallow it. Right. It's the horrific songs are the worst ones. Speaking of horrific songs, Love Stinks. So the question that everybody wants to ask, this was in my mind, Care from our sales department was going to ask it. Somebody comes in and buys a ring. And I want to know percentages now. What percentage of people now come in and browse that? Because obviously getting a custom one, does it cost more?
No, it's somebody's got to build it. So we manufacture. So whether we manufacture it or another designer manufactures it,
Same
they're-
price?
pretty much. Yeah.
Huh. So whether you come in and buy one out of the case or you do what I do and have them design one based on conversations I had with Yola, it's about the same.
There are exceptions.
I would go with design then every time because I feel like there's a lot more meaning put into it. I never knew that.
The generic things like something that you see everywhere.
Yeah.
Some of those are made overseas, and we can't compete with 50 cent a
the
day
price.
labor.
They're just cranking them out.
Right.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful ring, and she said yes, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
You think she said yes to you or the ring?
I think you blind them with the ring, and then by the time they realize they said yes, it's too late.
Too late,
Yeah. It's part of the
She's
part of
chained
the, part of
down.
the gig, right?
That leads me to the Love Stinks question. How often do you, and everybody wants to know, does somebody get a no, and do they come back and go, will you take the ring back or whatever?
It happens occasionally, not very often, maybe once every year or two. Most people know, like you had a pretty good feeling that she was going to say yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend that kind of money unless I'm pretty locked in.
Yeah.
You got to be somebody oblivious to think you're going to ask that and you're going to get a no.
Yeah.
Don't ask it until it's going to be a yes.
It's never a good story,
Yeah. Well, no, but here we want to talk about it. It's
You wanna talk
exciting.
about it?
We love other people's misery. Do you comfort them? You go, okay, I'm sorry. But you really do. You have helped people like you said the diamond's still fine.
Oh yeah. So diamonds, no problem. If it's a ring out of the case, sometimes we can work that out, or you're going to take a little bit of a hit, but not major.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
roll them bones. Go in and see
Absolutely.
Steve. Anyway,
Yeah.
so when you think it's going to be a yes, though, wait for that. So if you have questions, and it was very stressful for me because I don't know and or care about jewelry one bit. So it was stressful for me. And I at least had her guidance because we went on that date and went in and got one. That's a lot of guidance, but most guys don't have that. And if you want to surprise her,
it's hard.
It's difficult because the more you go look at jewelry, the more she knows
She's gonna
something's
know.
up. The more
And then
hints
if you wait, if you're like doing it ahead of time and you wait, then she's gonna be like, "What the hell?
why
isn't
won't he pop
asking
the question?
me?" Right,
Why does he keep getting the milk for free?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you asked about the finger size, I mean, one of the tricks is if you are out shopping, just pay attention to whether the rings fit her when they put them on, because they're pretty much all the same size.
And they like a 7?
Yeah, 6.5 or 7. So, if they say, well, yeah, whenever she tries them on, they're a little big, that gives us an idea of where to go.
She's
if,
a 6.
If we have to guess.
I tricked her into finding out she was a 6, but I got 6.5 because I wanted to fit on the boat. And then we go in and you can
we
size it real quick like that. But and then somebody on a text line went on, what if it's the opposite? What if it doesn't fit? What do you stretch it? And how long does that take? Or how do you make it
same
bigger?
amount of time? We just cut it and add a little piece of metal in there and weld that in.
Can't
And
even tell.
again, you can't even tell.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird that you can't see the welds, but it's just so small and precise or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you're a jeweler. If I did it, it would be like, whoa, who screwed up this ring? What the hell?
Yeah, it's important.
All right. You got questions? Text them in. It's Ask a Jeweler this morning. Steve is here from Dalzell and Crystal Lake. Here's Weezer on WIIL Rock. 95 Will Rock, the rock station. That is Weezer with Hash Pipe, Tom and Leah. Will Rock Morning Show. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake. You got questions, text them in now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword or 800-223-9510. We'll get them answered because it's a stressful thing. It was probably, for popping the question with Yola, the most stressful thing was the jewelry part of it. Because the marrying her is a no-brainer. The wedding, I don't care about. I'm not going to say I don't care. But I'm just going to go along with whatever.
But we want you to care too.
I want to act like I care. I'll say things like, "Oh, yes, that is a good idea," or
I think what you're trying to say is you care, you just don't want to plan it.
I just don't want to plan. Right. I'll be like, let me think about that. Whatever she comes up with, I just want her. I don't, and I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. Yes, let's do that. And then she'll change her mind. I'll go, yeah, you're right. We probably shouldn't. See, I'm good at saying things like that. But the jewelry mattered. And I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And then we went in and we talked about the ring that we had designed on an early date, and then I got the ring and I loved it.
That's better. That's better than what I did.
Yeah.
You want to know what I did?
Yeah. Coming up, we'll talk about Leah's thing and the fact that she wants a new ring now.
I mean, it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. How often do people come in for an upgrade?
People do, right?
People do.
Yeah. 10
so
years.
regular
Is that? Wait a second. Is 10 years?
10
That's
years
significant.
Is very reasonable. Yeah.
Thank you,
1
Steve.
year. They need an upgrade at 1 year, according to Steve, and they need to add 400 diamonds.
Not 1 year.
10 years. 10 years is a reasonable amount of time for upgrade. And Yola deserves a bigger stone. I just, I didn't have the stones to go for a bigger stone.
You didn't have the stones or
the scratch.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I just didn't. Let's not talk about that.
Not in a public setting.
If you got questions for Steve, text him in now at 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword Ask a Jeweler coming up.
Oh, that's me.
You weren't getting a ring from me. You can't even do your job, woman.
Rain today, 65 for a high, 61 overnight. And tomorrow, the rain continues with a high near 70. It's 60 in Gurnee and 61 in Lake Forest.
95 Will Rock, 95-second update. A federal judge says a lawsuit against the Lake Forest High School and a former teacher can move forward. 6 former students at the school claimed a former drama teacher, David Miller, abused them decades ago and the school covered it up. Officials attempted to get the suit dropped. They claimed statute of limitations. A federal judge says in this particular case that does not apply. Will Rock Sports brought to you by the plumbers and steam fitters of Local 118 for higher pay and better benefits. Go to UA118.com. Here's an interesting stat for you, Mr. Tom. Since 1981, every single team that has beaten the Milwaukee Brewers in the postseason has gone on to the World Series.
Is that real?
The latest, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
So this feels good because I was rooting for the Brewers and Diamondbacks were they beat the Cubs 3 games to steal away the wild card. B, they swept the Brewers like they weren't even a baseball team, So, but as a Brewers fan, you're like, you want them to win the World Series because you want to be able to say, well, at least the team that beat mine won the World Series. So this is a nice.
I thought that was an interesting stat. My middle kid just sent that to me.
I checked. I can cash out for. I bet $10 on March 30th before the season started on the Diamondbacks to win the World Series. If they win, I get $1,200. It was 120 to 1. But I can cash out right now for almost $400. But I'm not in it. I'm riding it. Would you take the money? Would you take $400 on a $10 bet now?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's $10.
You got to ride it out.
But I'm not a gambler.
I'm not here to win $400. I want the $1,200. Now listen, when they go down 3 games to none and they offer me $100 for the ticket, I'll probably take it.
Are you going to be ticked off though that you didn't put more than $10?
No, you can't. I do a stupid bet like that every year. Last year it was the Orioles. And it's not supposed to pay off. And it all stems from the Premier League when I think it was Leicester City or something like that won the Premier League. And it was like $1 million to 1 or 100,000 to 1. And a guy won $1 million, because there's no chance they were going to do it. Well, there's no chance the Diamondbacks were going to do it. I was throwing $10 in the garbage. And now I'm 4 wins away from being the smartest man in the history of baseball.
So either way you cash out, you're making money. Because it was $10.
Yeah, if they get down 3 games to none, I'll take the whatever it is offered.
So it'll be the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. That starts Friday. That's the World Series. Blackhawks lose to Boston. The Bulls open the regular season tonight. They take on Oklahoma City. The Bucks will open their season tomorrow. Milwaukee Admirals lose. They play again today, as do the Chicago Wolves.
Then I take the $1,200. I go see Steve in Crystal Lake, and I get her some accoutrement to go on with her to go with her engagement ring. After the engagement ring, then we got to think wedding rings.
Did you get the band?
Yep. wedding
we got to do
band.
that. We got to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you. Okay.
We'll go in and look together or whatever.
All
So,
right.
yeah. That I can get guidance on. Even mine. I don't know about that or whatever. Leah wants a new one. We'll talk
I just
about
want to know if that's
Yeah.
again
We'll
reasonable.
talk
but you
about
said
upgrade. We'll talk about the upgrade.
Okay.
We'll see. Because you're not alone in that, I'm sure. Steve is here. You got questions, text him in now for Ask a Jeweler. 815-283-0095 studio. The keyword off to the text line in a bit on Will Rock. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake, and he said the secret word.
He did.
He asked why we have
man.
Malort bottles in the studio.
And then he said, and then he followed it up with what is.
How do you work in
My
Illinois?
Lord.
How do you live in Illinois? You work in Illinois. Your business is in Illinois. Did you grow up? Are you from Illinois originally?
I'm not from.
How long have you lived in Illinois?
Since 92.
All right. So you're coming up on a quarter century. Well, we're over a quarter century.
over
Yeah.
that, yeah.
3 decades you lived here and you never heard of Malort?
No.
Do you not go to, have you ever been in a bar in Illinois?
I have been in a bar in Illinois.
It's on the back shelf and it's sitting there. And if you go to, it used to be malortmap.com, you can see where you can get it. It's all around Illinois. It trickles into Wisconsin and Iowa and Indiana, just a little tiny bit. It's like a virus. And then there's a couple of places in Washington, D.C. that have it, which makes me wonder what the F's going on there. Maybe the lawmakers, when they get elected from Illinois, they go there and then they give it to all the people in the other party. Oh, my friend, let's be bipartisan. Let me buy you a shot. Here's some Malort. And you wonder why they can't get anything done. They hate each other then. It is the worst thing in the world. It's if you hate somebody, you can unfriend them in real life. Go online, go on YouTube, and people send me this link all the time of the Malort taste test guys throwing up all over the place. It is
horrible.
It is wormwood liqueur, Steve. I don't know how you haven't heard of it. People must like you. Nobody's ever bought you a shot of Malort.
Never had a shot of Malort.
It's an Chicago handshake is a Malort and an old style back. So it's wormwood liqueur. And during the Prohibition, the Prohibition cops went and said, hey, you can't sell this. It's alcohol. And the people selling it would go, no, this is medicine. Be like, that's not medicine. That's a drink you're selling. Be like, all right, taste it. And then the guys who taste it be like, nope, that's medicine. So you could drink this all through Prohibition. It's different every year. It's warm. Let me explain the taste before you smell it. Don't open it. Whatever you do, it's a biohazard. Let me explain the taste. If you took, how babies aspirin, those little baby aspirin, they're delicious as a kid. I loved them.
Yep.
It sounds good so far, right? You take a baby aspirin, you get it a little moist, you roll it in pencil shavings. Then you take a used Band-Aid and you wrap it around it, and then you spray bug spray on it.
That's spot
with
on.
DEET, yeah. So baby aspirin, rolled in pencil shavings, used Band-Aid, sprayed with bug spray. That is what Malort is.
So that's what's wrong with DC, you're saying?
Yeah, well, obviously, that's what's wrong with Illinois. It's a great way to F with your friends. We'll have people in the studio, and if you want to join the Malort Club, you have to have 3 shots in succession, and then you're in the club. And you can go to a bar and say, hey, you want to try Malort? You go, no, I'm already in the club. And then you're safe. Which is the only reason to join the club. There's no T-shirt or meetings or dues or anything. You're in the club. I have a button for you, as a matter of fact, if you join the club. Would you like to join the Malort Club?
I'm gonna pass on the Malort Club this morning just because I'm gonna have to drive at some point.
Yeah. See, and you use the one thing that I can't say. Oh, if he says he wants to drive, and I go, oh, come on, and then you crash. I'm the a-hole.
Three shots would put me in a coma.
It's not full alcohol. It's not 80 proof. Do you want to smell it? Hold on. I want to put your face on camera on TomTube here. Do you want to smell it or not?
Sure, why not?
All right, so this is Steve's face when he smells Malort. Go ahead and give it a little sniff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's like cough syrup or something.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that.
And when it first hits your mouth, you don't it doesn't there's no flavor. It's like the after.
The first couple of seconds, people will always go, when they have it, you watch their face, they'll take the shot and they'll be like, oh, that's not too bad. And then they breathe in through their mouth a little bit and they go, oh, that's not too bad. And then they're like, I'll heave. If I smell it, I vomit. People are like, oh, you get used to it. You get better with it. And I'm like, no, it gets worse for me. If I smell it now, I puke. There are people who like it, and actually enjoy it as a drink. Baby Godzilla, Sean from Jesse Oaks, drinks it and likes it. But there are people who think that cilantro tastes like dish soap. It's genetic. And I think that people who like Malort, there's a Malort gene in your body that makes you like it, right? It's got to be genetic because
it's got to be.
Just to like it for the flavor doesn't make any sense. I do not know how you're from Illinois. You've been here for over a quarter century, and you haven't had Malort. I attribute that to that you're a really nice guy and you don't have any asshole friends or something.
That's a good thing, I guess.
You have all good friends that you don't do this to each other. All right. It's Ask a Jeweler. He's not going to join the Malort Club, so you can bet he's a smart guy. Text your questions in now, 815-283-0095. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake, 842.
Rain today with a high of 65.
You looking for holiday shopping? Of course, Christmas is coming up. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about upgrades for Leah with the jeweler. And you want something easy? The WIIL Rock Shop is open 24/7, 365. Classic black tees, 501 t-shirts, hoodies, all of that. Just hit 95willrock.com. If you want to see this stuff in person, you can go to Happy's Badass Bar in Cary, and Happy's got it there. Or you can hit the link at 95willrock.com for the WIIL Rock Shop. Thanks to Badass Marketing and Happy's Badass Bar in Cary. The minute I say Malort, the viewers go up on TomTube because everybody wants to see somebody suffer is what it is, as long as it's not you. So Steve is not going to have Malort today.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
But we are
I
gonna,
can't do 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people, there's 2 different ways of doing it. I say it tastes like a Band-Aid. There's the rip off the Band-Aid method where it's bang, bang, bang. Or there's the drink one, recover from it, and then have the other. It's like going into cold water. Either you jump in or you wade in. So
I have not. I'm not in the Malort.
Leah
club
hasn't
either.
even done it. She has to do it on the Cabin Fever Getaway or we cancel her trip home.
That's fine.
That's
She's living in Jamaica. Right? Damn it, that backfired.
you're threatening her with a
She's
good
living
time,
her
man.
best life. So she's talking about upgrades for jewelry. Is that how and you say people around the 10-year mark come in and they want to
Yeah, absolutely. 5-10 years, sometimes 20. It all depends. But sometimes it has to do with fashion. People
that's
want
what I
to
was just
change
gonna
the
say.
style. They
Yeah.
keep the stones the same and they redo it.
I think I would have done like back 10 years ago. I did, the white gold or whatever. I think I would go back and I would do gold.
Yeah.
I like gold now better.
We went with I went with platinum because that's what Yola said when we were looking at the rings.
Yeah.
And now like she looks at the platinum and she's like, oh, maybe sometime I'll be like, all right, we're not married yet.
Yeah.
5-10 years, you go in and then you can modify the ring they have, or
we can use the stones and put them in a different design. Or if you love your ring the way it is, we can just set it into yellow gold.
Do you could I bring my stones and some other stones, and can you put them together?
Yeah, we sure
Because
can.
I have my mom's old wedding ring, her and my dad, not together anymore, but I would like to or would that be bad juju?
Sentimental.
You'd like to jinx your marriage? Sure. I have some stones from someone who died a horrible death. I'd like to make them into a pendant and wear it as I do dangerous things. It's like you're doing Faces of Death. What's the Final Destination?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to play Final Destination with my jewelry. No, whatever.
We have an exorcist on call. We can,
there you go.
Get bad karma out of things. Yeah.
It's a line of work there's a lot of things to be navigated for it. It's not like you're going in and buying a car or a refrigerator. This has emotional things to it. This is a very important purchase that you're doing.
For sure. And it reminds you of different events and different things. In your case, getting engaged. And
yeah,
it's important stuff.
Other than engagement rings, I mean, what's your biggest thing there at the store?
Yeah, engagement rings.
Yeah.
We do a lot of diamond studs. We import diamonds. So
Yo's already got a stud. So
yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Well, there's some in the walls. There's a thing where we hang pictures on. Certainly isn't the guy with the manageable penis.
She's looking for one for each year, though.
So people go in, and I suppose it runs the gamut of I have no idea what I want, or I went in and had a full design that I kind of
it is literally the whole gamut. And sometimes a good idea for a guy, if they don't know, we can set it in a simple solitaire and come on back, and we'll set it into something with her later.
Okay, so she can critique
so she
it
can
or
have
whatever.
Some input. Right.
Yeah, Yola might want hers. It's platinum, thinned down because it's kind of chunkier, but that was the design she looked at. Can you make it? Can that be thinned down so it's less? Like the ring itself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just can't put it back. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Once it comes off, as my grandmother, when we baked, she'd be like, you got to put the right amount in. We can always add more, but you can't take it out.
That's exactly it.
Jewelry is like baking. Come on in and you have cookies there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. If you're walking around downtown Crystal Lake and you go in, they generally have cookies. What's with the cookies?
You know what? It makes the place smell good, and I need something for breakfast. So it really comes down to chocolate chip cookies.
Where
for breakfast.
They're good cookies. Do you buy them or do you make them?
We get cookie dough from Sam's Club.
Okay, they're delicious. They're delicious.
And we cook
Who
it there.
bakes them? You bake them there, right?
The staff, we just keep throwing them. We got one of those little oven
toaster
things.
oven deals, and you make
it's like it's actually a cookie oven. You could probably put a pizza in it.
Yeah, you're a tricky bastard. I walk in, I smell cookies. I'm going to stay in my jewelry.
Right.
Just don't eat all my cookies.
How many do you get? Because I've had 2. I've been there and I thought, you know what? If I take a third, I'm a dick.
There's days that I need you to eat a lot of them. It keeps me from eating them.
How many cookies do you generally eat in a day? It depends on the day.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
It depends on how hungry you are for breakfast, or if you had Malort the night before.
Yeah, you don't eat anything. There you go. Free cookies in downtown Crystal Lake. Dalzell Jewelers right there on the corner. You got questions, text them in now. It's Ask a Jeweler, 815-283-0095 studio, the keyword followed by your question. Here's Yola's favorite band, Godsmack on WIIL Rock. Breaking Benjamin on Will Rock, Tom and Leah, Will Rock Morning Show. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake. You got questions? We got a jeweler. It is a stressful, nervous time. I don't know a damn thing about jewelry. It is a difficult time. So, and I'm sure that I'm not alone in that. You got questions? Text them in now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword 858.
Rain today, high of 65, 61 tonight and tomorrow. The rain continues. It's going to be a high near 70, though. 61 in Waukegan right now and 60 in Crystal Lake.
95 Will Rock 95 second update. Kenosha police confirming a body discovered in the city last week is that of a missing Green Bay man. 41-year-old Christopher Bellinger had been missing since September the 27th. His vehicle was found October 17th in Kenosha. His body in a wooded area nearby. The manner and cause of Bellinger's death remains under investigation. The White House says they're developing prudent contingency planning to evacuate Americans from the Middle East in case the Israel-Hamas war spreads to a broader regional conflict. White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby stressed that there are currently no active efforts to evacuate Americans from the region. Will Rock Sports brought to you by Windy City Rooter. They drain your pipes, not your wallet. It's now official. Giannis Antetokounmpo staying with the Bucks for at least 3 more years. He signs a $186 million extension. He'll be making $62 million a year.
My contract is up this coming March. Can I find out
Who
who
wants 62 mil?
negotiated his?
Yeah, find his agent and
Sure. I was thinking $62,
Right.
but that's, let's see if his agent will work for me for, what do they get? Like 10%. So see if it worked for me, $6.20 coming his way. Yeah, they're all over that.
The Bucks open their season tomorrow. Bulls open their season tonight. They take on Oklahoma City. Blackhawks lose to Boston. The World Series all set. It'll be the Arizona Diamondbacks and Texas Rangers starting Friday. Chicago Wolves and Milwaukee Admirals in action tonight.
And finally, got to ask you, Steve, it's the oddest way that someone's ever paid you for something.
Do you take goats and chickens? my grandfather in Sharon, Wisconsin was a chiropractor. He literally would get
Took goats and
eggs,
chickens.
You've never.
Well, no, never take that, but
bartered
like
jewelry for what?
in cash, but
Yeah.
paid you maybe with
No, we've
change.
With quarters.
Yeah.
we take trade-ins, so we take all sorts
You
of
take
stuff.
out
Okay.
jewelry for it, but nobody's ever come in with pennies.
Not with pennies. No, no
Fine.
pennies. Well, you know what? I take that. We do
Okay,
buy.
listen, they buy coins.
We do buy coins.
Okay.
So if you have the right pennies, then yeah, we can take that.
If
and trade
I have a ton of pennies,
So
that
do
are
I.
old or whatever,
Mhm.
and I think maybe they're. What's the easy? Because I don't want to go through and look everyone up online or whatever.
Just
bring
if
it
you-
in. He knows.
Yeah, if you flip them over, the wheat cents are all worth a little bit.
yeah.
But the one you want is the 1909 S with a VDB on the back. Even
What's it worth?
At least $500 into
All
the
right.
into the several thousands.
Wow.
Okay,
All right. So
all right.
maybe these guys
Depends
were
on condition.
were doing this company
They were
a
doing
favor.
the right thing. Yeah, get all those pennies.
A welding company in Colorado, they're called JMF Enterprises. They recently got sued by another company. They claim that JMF didn't pay them for a job, and eventually they settled for $23,500, right? But now they're back in court because JMF tried to pay
With
by sending them over 6 tons of loose change.
just loose change.
Just loose change.
Just loose change.
Get how they delivered
Did
it,
they
though.
count it out themselves, or I mean, if you're saying it's the amount, you're like, yeah. Well, you know what? You don't believe us? Count it. You got to go down to that Coinstar. They were in the grocery store for a year and a half. They're standing there in the grocery store loading up the Coinstar or
They
whatever.
just drive the flatbed
Yeah.
bed truck that
Yeah.
they used right to the grocery
pennies,
store.
yeah.
That's what they did, though. They just filled up the flatbed.
Yeah.
It showed up at the lawyer's office with boxes full of quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies all mixed together. Lawyer described it as a big.
Do they got a big FU?
Yeah.
Do they got to take it, or what? Are they going to
No,
court?
they're back in court now.
And we don't know the outcome yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, find out.
Stay tuned.
I think they got to take it.
They
It's
do.
money. It's legal tender.
Yeah.
Steve, don't say that on the air. People have you on. People have you on record now. Going, they'll take. Come on into Dalzell Jewelers. We'll sell you an engagement ring, and you can pay with pennies. I went in and saw Steve and got the ring for Yola, and she said yes. So as far as I'm
Mighty
concerned,
braggy.
Dalzell Jewelers is batting 1,000. The ring work. If you go to their website, Dalzell and Company, NCO.com, the ring on the top left looks exactly like Yola's. It's got the baguettes, which I didn't even know that word. I thought I was putting bread on a ring on each side of the diamond. And then there's an emerald shaped diamond in the middle. And it looks platinum like that. That's almost her ring on the website. So
It's
I feel like I
close.
did good. I feel like we did good. The things on the side I found out are like, that's like retro. That's not the thing right now. I didn't know there were like style trends in and out of jewelry, but there are.
Yeah, it's fashion, so
Yeah,
there's definitely styles that are come and go,
And as a guy, so you must get people, you must get guys that come in and their mouth is hanging open. They're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely the case.
More often than not. But you get some people that know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it's it's probably 50-50. A lot of guys come in and go, I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't have an idea, but I want to get married. So let's figure this out. So that's what we do.
Is that part of your thing? Is hand holding them through it? Do you give them because there's like tricks you can like window shop with her when you're somewhere, or you can look online with her, or like we did. We were in town to get she had a person who cut her hair in Crystal Lake. And I'm like, oh, hey, I know these guys. Let's go in and see if Steve's there. And I knew there were free cookies.
Yep.
And we went in.
It's all about the cookies.
And we ended up designing a whole ring. It was like our third date. And then a year and a half later, that design is on file. I had the email and that was a tricky. There's ways to get the information you need.
Oh, absolutely. And we can help with that. So I've got a great staff. They do phenomenal work also. So
Diana helped me. And I gotta tell you, it worked. It worked. Yeah. That was really good. Is it the busy season coming up? Because when is is it Valentine's or Christmas or what is the busy season?
Christmas is crazy. People are already starting to look now, which is good. It helps us out. So it's not as, if you come in 2 weeks before Christmas and ask for a custom engagement ring, it's
I worked
It's
at
gonna
a
be
jewelry
tough, yeah.
store during this like September, October, November months.
It's crunch time.
God bless y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's insane.
It must be like tax people, if you wait until the end of March or April to get your taxes done, you got to file for an extension. If you want to pop the question at Christmas, you can't file for. You can't put in a box under the tree. I'd like to file for an engagement extension.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, now would be the time to come in and see us.
Yeah.
So we've got plenty of time and can get everything going.
Is Christmas the biggest time or is Valentine's?
It is. Christmas is bigger for us. Actually, the two biggest for us, Christmas and Mother's Day.
Jewelry for mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know what to do there. Well, my mom's, not with us anymore, but I wouldn't know, I wouldn't understand my mom's jewelry either.
No.
So you guys must be, it's a lot of hand holding.
Yeah, we're good at that though. That's our gig.
All right. So if you're thinking about it, think about popping the question, they'll get us through it. If you have questions, ask a jeweler. Text us now, 815-283-0095. Studio, the first word in your message, followed by your questions. We'll get some of them answered coming up. It's 9:09.
Rain today with a high of 65.
All right. Ask a jeweler. Text them in. First, it's Pop Evil. There's Skeletons, 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station. We are up and running on TomTube for Ask a Jeweler. Also on YouTube, Steve from Dalzell Jewelers is here. He just said, watch Saturday Night Live. What is Pandora commercial?
The holiday jewelry.
Yeah, and
SNL.
it is the
Oh,
guys,
it's so
and this
funny.
is the truth. Guys are
You guys don't know.
idiots. I don't
Try.
know. Yola is always like, I'm like, I don't know what to get you. She's like, I like jewelry. And when she says the word, I'm like, I'm going to screw this up and it's
Yeah.
going to cost me because you spend money on it. And then, it was wrong. This SNL commercial is about right. Get her, you a ring that says, I know you're a nurse or you like drinking.
Here's a dog.
But guys are idiots. You can help them.
Yeah, we
navigate for all of this.
That's for sure. Yeah, because again, we want to help them get the right thing. Because if she doesn't wear it, it doesn't help us. Nobody asks where it came from.
There you go.
Yeah. So
and that's why they
important.
get the engagement ring is so that their friends will see it and gush over it and talk about how great it is. And
Oh, I got it from Dalzell.
Yola's ring is working for that. So very good. Thank you for that very much.
No problem. Thanks for thinking of us.
I still don't know or understand other jewelry. So when it's time, jewelry, I will come in and see you and we will get it figured out.
We will keep you out of trouble.
We were talking about Valentine's. He said it's not that busy of a holiday. Sweetest Day just happened. Everybody talks about Valentine's Day, Hallmark holiday. Sweetest Day was literally invented by people in Ohio, a candy company to sell more candy. It literally is a made-up holiday to sell candy. But you're talking, don't go get the gas station flower on Valentine's Day or Sweetest Day. Go in and get a little jewelry.
Yeah, we've got things starting for 25, 30
That's what I was going to
so.
say. It doesn't have to break the bank. We just want.
What did you say? You've got things starting
$25, $30. We'll have different charms and things, and it's like it's about what it means, and it's that you're thinking of them. It's not just you don't have to come in and buy a 10-carat diamond.
Exactly.
Do you have 10-carat diamonds?
Absolutely.
No. You have 10-carat diamonds?
We can do that for you.
You can get a 10. How big is a 10-carat diamond?
I like this.
Holy crapola. What is the biggest diamond that you have ever sold?
Oh, that was.
You can go and get your diamonds. You don't like buy them down at Diamond Mart. You
got
to go and get diamonds.
Yeah, we get them in Belgium. So
yeah.
Biggest one, I had one come in that was, I want to say 17, 18 carats that we bought from somebody. Another dealer brought it in, they couldn't handle it, and we we'll buy it, and sold that one.
Did you make it into? Did you sell the diamond as a diamond, or did you make it into something?
We that was a long story. We sold that to another dealer also. So
yeah,
we do.
What do you make out of that? Like trade. A giant pendant that Mr. T wears around his neck.
A lot of them go into rings.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel insignificant.
No, you're manageable.
It's just like my penis. Yeah, the ring is manageable. This is a compliment from my now fiance that I have a manageable. It's not small. It's just like the ring. It's a manageable ring for the guy with the manageable. Anyway, if you've got questions, that took a turn. Ask a jeweler. Text them in now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword. You have to understand on this show, it either always gets back to boogers, poop, or the smallness of my unit. That's what every path leads to those things. I'm a hairless aggressive nose picker with a manageable penis.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Put that on a t-shirt. 916.
And an alien ass.
An alien looking effing butt.
Whatever that is. Yeah. Rain today, 65 for a high, 61 overnight. And tomorrow the rain continues, looking at a high near 70. It's 61 in Zion and 61 in McHenry.
Thank you for piling on and remembering that I have
I can't forget it's like permanently ingrained in my brain how you described it.
But this Friday at the 501 Club party, we're hanging out.
I can't wait for you to see.
Leah has a surprise and I have no idea what it is.
I can't wait for you to see it.
Is it something you're giving me, or
it's not directly from me.
It's something I'm getting.
Yes.
I'm getting something.
You're
Friday
getting
at the
something, and everybody else is gonna. It's a treat.
It's not from your fan Lori, your super fan, is it?
No, it's not from Lori.
She's giving me some good things.
She said that she's either gonna fight you or.
All right, I'm engaged to someone else, so let the battle begin. Option B ain't happening. 501 this Friday. Come out and see what my surprise is. We've got concert tickets for In This Moment, Ice Nine Kills, Avatar, New Year's Day at the Rave on November 9th, Machine Head at the Concord in January, and Miller Lite on special. We'll get the weekend rolling. Great food, Halftime Bar and Grill, Johnsburg Road in Johnsburg. We'll see you there with Miller Lite and Will Rock. talking to Steve from Dalzell Jewelers. That's where I got Yola's engagement ring. It worked. Thank you for that. And that's a stressful thing, engagement ring. And he said thanks for coming in, but this is. I'm glad we have you here. It's not just a hey, go see Steve. He's going to be an advertiser. He's been an advertiser in the past, and that's absolutely part of it. You said radio's worked very well for you.
It has, yeah.
But I think I'm not alone, and I don't understand jewelry, and there are questions. If you have them, text them in now. You made a great comparison. It would be like you.
It's like me trying to buy a fur coat or something. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you would know. Jewelry is like that for us. So, and how is it a family thing? How did you get into business?
Yeah, my grandfather was in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota, and he set up it was jewelry. It was an interesting store because there was nothing there. So it was jewelry, makeup, photo supplies, and guns.
Mining equipment, guns.
Mining equipment,
Yeah. So,
you were talking a town of 200 people.
Yeah.
You need a shovel or you need a diamond pendant?
You had to go to the hardware store for the shovel.
Oh, they didn't do shovels. They didn't do shovels.
Through the line.
That hardware guy, stay in your lane. Jewelry guy, stay in your lane. That's awesome. And then you ended up here, and the store is. You said this is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, 25 years blows my mind.
That's
like
silver.
Yesterday.
That's the silver anniversary. You should go to Dalzell Jewelers in Crystal Lake and get yourself
get
something.
Myself a silver charm. Yeah,
and then act surprised. Act surprised.
Absolutely.
But they're smaller. You can go in and get a $25, $50 thing and surprise her, or you can get the main stuff you need: the engagement ring, the wedding bands, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we have the whole gamut. So it's don't be scared off by jewelry stores. We have things that are very reasonably priced also. So
Diana helped me through the engagement ring process. She's very adept at what she's doing. Your staff seems like they've been there a while and they know what they're doing.
Yes, that's for sure. Got a strong staff. Diana's been with me forever. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Diana, Rebecca, I got a great crew there.
As a guy, you need hand holding through this. It's not just you don't just buy things there. You can go in and sell things there. I have a wedding band that unfortunately did not work out.
Yeah.
I can bring that in and you will buy it straight out.
Yeah,
or
we'll write you a check, or you can trade it in, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And then Yola has some jewelry or whatever, and you're buying there as well. And you talk about not only jewelry but coins.
Yeah, we do jewelry, coins, flatware, collectibles. All that sterling flatware everybody got once upon a time. Nobody registers for it anymore, but that's pretty valuable. It adds up.
Yeah. So it's like your Pawn Stars without Chumley.
Without Chumley. Yeah.
But you can't bring in muskets or
don't bring muskets in. That's not my thing.
Or art.
Artwork. Yeah. Statues and things sometimes, but I don't do paintings. That's one thing, Rick from Palm Stars has. He knows paintings and I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't like to try to buy things that I don't know anything about.
And it's not a pawn shop. You buy things straight
out.
We
buy it straight out. Yeah, not a pawn shop.
All right. So you got some jewelry sitting around. You don't know what to do with. Bring it on in. I say downtown Crystal Lake. You'll find it. It's right there on the corner of
where at Brinks and Williams. It's in the old downtown. Just by the Rouse Center's down there, and Starbucks is down there.
I was talking to Yola. I was messaging with her this morning because we need to get the ring sized. I'm like, and you can do it in a half hour. I'm like, we'll go in, we'll look at some other jewelry, we'll go get lunch. It's Crystal Lake.
Yeah, there is something.
We'll go hang out with the rich people for an afternoon or whatever. So it's 9:24.
Rain today with a high of 65.
All right, you got questions? We will go to the text line for Ask a Jeweler. Last call to get them in. Text them to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword, followed by your questions from Steve from Dalzell Jewelers. Downtown Crystal Lake. Your shine down on Will Rock. I just think it was like doctors and lawyers when they would go to a party. You get people coming up to you if you're a doctor and you're like, can you look at this and tell me what's wrong with it? Or as a lawyer, you go up to them and say, hey, I want to sue somebody. Can you? They're always like getting free advice when they find out what you do. Nobody comes up to me and goes, hey, I really need a good fart joke. Can you give me a fart joke? I can just
They do say, hey, can you give me some concert tickets?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think Steve, I think Jeweler's on that list too, because every coworker here, you and Kara, are all asking him questions. You want your ring the kind of metal that Care has, and Care wants the kind of that you have. And Steve's like, just bring it in. We can plate anything. So you could take her.
So with a yellow gold ring, if you want to see what it looks like in white, we can rhodium plate the yellow gold ring. It's not permanent, but it'll be white for a while.
You can look at it
and
decide if you want.
And decide if that's what you actually want.
Yeah, the reverse is a little tougher.
Maybe sometimes you just want a little strange, and then you want to go back to.
Well, you and Kara could. She wants what you guys could just swap rings. She gets Hat, and you get Rick. And I think there's an upside on that.
Rick is great. He has a full head of hair.
He's a smarter guy. He's a little more seasoned in the world, maybe a little brighter than Hat. And Care
Hat is actually really smart.
Well, I know he's smart. He's just a guy. He's an idiot. He's smart, but so you'd get a little more enlightened guy for a while, and Care would get Hat, but she would tear that up with his abs and all that.
So the guy goes with the ring?
Yeah, well, I think so, doesn't it? Or what? That's why.
I'm just asking.
That's why when I bring Yolas in to get sized, I'm going to keep an eye on her to make sure nobody else touches the ring while I'm there. So you can do it. Half hour. He's like, we can play anything. I'm like, yeah, a cat's got nipples. Can you milk a cat? Can you milk a cat?
The answer is yes,
you can
by the
milk
way.
anything with nipples.
You can milk a cat.
Yeah, I'll defer to you on that one.
They do not offer that as a service. The people who have not seen the movie don't get the reference and just think I'm totally weird. It's 9:29.
Rain today with a high of 65, 61 overnight, and tomorrow the rain continues with a high of 70. It's 61 in Lakemore and 61 in Lake Bluff. It is time for the 95 WIIL Rock Happy Hour News in your fridge right now, in your fridge.
At home?
Yeah. Yes, at home. We definitely don't have it here. Do you guys have like the Arm and Hammer box, like the baking soda?
To keep the smell down or whatever.
Do you have that?
Supposedly.
I do have it in one of ours. Yeah.
I don't know if it works or
I
not,
don't
but I
either.
put it in there. The fridge doesn't stink, so either.
I hope the fridge
It
though
works,
doesn't
or-
smell because it doesn't smell, right? Like
I hope
don't
it's
want...
not the baking soda doing
Right.
it. Maybe it's masking the dangerously gross things in my fridge. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Viola wanted to get like those air freshers that randomly spray like every so. She's like, I have one of those. We can put the stuff in it. I go, no. I go, if the house stinks, I want to know, and I want to clean up whatever stinks. I don't want to mask
those things.
it.
My mom has one in her bathroom, and it will hit me while I'm going to the bathroom. I'm like,
ah! It's like a cobra. I need a mongoose to kill this thing. Why are you spitting in my face? I'm just trying to relieve myself. Maybe move the thing or get rid of it.
Probably, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not my house. But according to TikTok, we should.
Well, there it is. TikTok. They know everything.
Should all be storing a roll of toilet paper in the fridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that cool feeling when it hits my
So
anus.
that was the first thought
It's
that
like
I
when you
had
get a
when I read this.
It's like when you get a warm towel out of the dryer. But this is cool TP for your butthole.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, why is it always got to be the butthole?
Where are you using toilet paper, Leah? Oh yeah, you guys do that. See, I never dry my urethra. It's just drip dry. We're just drip dry. You guys got to do a little maintenance.
You do like a little shake.
Sorry about that.
They say that's
more
not...
than 3 times, and you're playing with it.
They say it's not the only main reason to do this, though. It's supposed to absorb moisture in your fridge and help with the unpleasant odor.
Because I want moist broccoli sweat on my butthole.
You don't use the toilet paper after?
Toilet paper. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that stuff's a commodity.
It is.
We fight over it.
But baking soda too. It's a pain to go. You gotta go down and get a box of baking soda and open it up. And the toilet paper. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm not putting baking soda in my butt either. Just so we're clear on that. The only rule we've been given on the show, and this is a true thing by management, the only thing we've said is we're not allowed to stick things in our butt.
And I quote
during the show on the show.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go home now and chill my toilet paper and stick some baking soda in my butt. Thank you, Leah.
It's like a science experiment.
Another day of anus maintenance, courtesy of the WIIL Rock Morning Show. SinusandSnoringMD.com. Meet Dr. Swerdlin and his team. If you snore, if you have sleep apnea, which can be really dangerous, allergies in the fall now a problem, go see Dr. Swerdlin. And Leah's doing allergy treatment with him right now. It's drops you put in, you become desensitized, and you actually treat what you're allergic to and stop the sniffling and the sneezing and the runny eyes and all of that stuff. If you have any of those problems, sinus, nasal, allergies, sleep apnea, snoring problems, they can help you. Minimally invasive surgical and non-surgical treatments for all those things. Stop in and see them. They're nearby. Kenosha, Oak Creek, Mount Prospect, and Lombard. The place to start, though, is the website SinusandSnoringMD.com. We will get to the text line with your questions for Ask a Jeweler coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steve is here from Dalzell. I don't understand. We have company and then you talk crazy talk.
What did I say?
So friends come over and they go in your fridge to get a beer and they're like, hey, what's with the toilet paper in the refrigerator?
The TikTok
Right?
says to do it.
Yeah. And what does it do? It takes
TikTok says
the
to do a lot
moisture
of
out of
things.
your
True.
refrigerator.
Yeah, it does the same thing that maybe a box of baking
smell?
soda does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smell and the moisture.
I'm not embarrassed of a box of baking soda in my refrigerator. Somebody opens the door and sees chilled toilet paper. They're like, man, those roids have really gotten worse, haven't they? You're chilling your TP. I'm going to go ahead and start putting beers in the shower. Well, I have shower beers are a thing.
Yeah, why not?
Shower beers.
Also, no one sees my box of baking soda either.
All the way in back.
It's all the way in back. It's
Yeah.
blocked. It's actually blocked right now by my box of allergy drops. My sinus and snoring
Yeah.
box of allergy drops. It's
Mine
blocking
is
it.
mine is blocked by my giant tube of Preparation H. I'm just keeping it
You
all
keep
nice
it
and
in the
cool in there.
fridge.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's
there's
I
that.
don't know what's going on. Text questions for Steve coming up. The actual questions for Ask a Jeweler on the way. Text them in now to 815-283-0095. Studio, the keyword for Ask a Jeweler. It is 9:36.
Rain today, high of 65.
Disturbed 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station. It's disturbed. I only had 2 cups of coffee, and I am a lot today, Steve. I apologize.
That's all good.
It is a lot. Steve is from Dalzell Jewelers. I got Yola's engagement ring there. It is beautiful. If you go to their website, it's Dalzell, DALZELLNCO.com. The one on the top left with the baguettes, which I thought it was bread we were putting on her ring. And then what is it? An emerald shaped diamond.
Emerald cut diamond. Yeah.
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 It's like a carat and a 75th, or it's almost 2. And then the baguettes. And she loved it. She was great. It worked. She said yes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
ring. So, again, you should still be out of trouble for at least another week.
Oh, wow. We're going to bring it in and get it sized. And then we can look at wedding bands and other
exciting
things.
stuff.
And yeah. And the size, I thought it was like you had to, like, it took time, but usually like a half hour. And
Yeah, ideally, again, if people drop them off, we like to have, 10 days, but we can do it. We can do it same day if we need to.
I don't want it off of her because I'm afraid somebody else will put a ring on it. So it's just.
I don't think that's how it
It's
works.
just being territorial. There's a good place to go have lunch across the street.
Yep, Benedict's across the street. Awesome lunch.
Yeah, go
Good
have
place.
lunch. And Crystal Lake is like a little. Crystal Lake is designed, by the way, to keep the riffraff out, but we found our way in. There's no easy way to get to Crystal Lake.
No quick way.
When we have an event in Crystal Lake, we should be able to get there in like 30 minutes, and it takes like 3 hours.
Well, because you got to go through like a neighborhood,
Yeah,
which
it's
I
not too
did
bad.
the other day,
Yeah.
and it was the most beautiful drive
Oh,
because
it's
the
nice.
colors changing and
The only thing missing in Crystal Lake is the moat to keep us out, but we swim it.
Yeah,
Beautiful downtown.
But we're worth the trip.
Oh,
Definitely
it
worth
is.
the
It
trip.
is.
Yeah,
It is.
100%.
And I go someplace where you're going to get customer service, and like you said, Diana has been in that helped us. It was great. All your staff.
Yeah, I've got an amazing crew. I couldn't do it without them. So
Yeah. You got questions, Steve will answer them. Last call, we'll answer them next. Text them in to 815-283-0095 studio, the keyword for Ask a Jeweler. It's 942.
rain today, 65 for a high, 61 overnight, and tomorrow the rain continues. Looking like the rain's going to continue into the weekend. Before it gets colder too. High of 70 tomorrow, though. It's 61 in Highwood and 62 in Round Lake Beach.
Speaking of questions, we're doing a question now on Open Phone Thursday. Tomorrow's question is what Halloween costume? Because I don't know.
just decided. I'm so
You locked yours in because you've been fretting about it all
he
morning.
has not accepted it yet, but
Pat?
it's go. I've been calling him Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
He's my new water boy
Because
because
he
he's
works
working
the
at
water
the water
department.
Yeah, so I
Bobby
just think
Boucher,
I think it's hilarious.
you've
He's-
been playing the foosball.
Yeah, so he's my water boy, and I'm the crazy girl that he dates.
So you're gonna put the football uniform on him, or
No,
or
I'm
have
just-
him do the water boy
I'm
stuff.
going to have him do the water boy
Got the
stuff,
Mike Wiley H2O,
and
right
then
there.
he could, and then he could like,
He's got to
quench
act like
my
Bobby
thirst
Boucher.
all
I'm like,
night.
oh yeah.
Mm.
And then you're gonna be the crazy
I'm
lady.
going to be the crazy
What about
lady.
the leather pants? What happened to the leather
I'm going to wear
pants?
the leather
Okay,
pants.
all right,
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
a reason still to buy the leather pants.
I still don't know mine, and I've said yes to a trillion things with Yola, and she's brought up things, and I've said yes, and I've suggested. She wants to get it right. Which is why when we got the ring at Dalzell, it was perfect that she loved it, and she really did. She wasn't faking it, so I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Now, if you could just tell us what to go as for Halloween,
for
Steve.
Halloween, I'll
You'll work
think of
on that?
Yeah, I'll work on. So
Work
you
on
can go
that.
as filter, no filter.
Which we've done that before too. It's fun.
What is
So
filter?
she looks good,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
She's the
With the
filter,
filter,
and
yeah.
you're no filter. So you try to look like
Crap.
her, and
Oh,
you
but
look like
her,
crap.
but look like crap.
Right.
Give me
Without the
crap.
filter, yeah.
No filter.
Yes.
Yola with the filter. Yola with. I love that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And
I
it's-
gotta
it's
dress
easy to
exactly
do.
the same as her.
You gotta put. So you'll
And
have
a
to
wig
get
and all that.
but like the makeup smeared and
Filter, no filter.
filter, no filter.
Bar time, no bar time.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, speaking of bar
Lights
time,
on, lights off.
we're going to be celebrating it at Mickey Finn's Brewery Halloween Bash. I'll be broadcasting live 7 to 9. If you get there before 9, free to get in. Come in 8:59, but I'll be broadcasting live. I've got tickets for Kiss at the Allstate Arena you can sign up for, and tickets for Fit for a King and the Devil Wears Prada at the Rave. We'll draw for those at 9, and then cover after 9 is $10, but before 9 it's free. Live music from Winnie Cooper. They are a great party band. Put your costume on, come on out. Saturday night, Mickey Finn's on Milwaukee Avenue in downtown Libertyville. We'll see you there for the Halloween. Maybe filter, no filter, Tom and Yola. We'll see. 95 will rock. Steve is here from Dalzell Jewelers. That's where I got Yola's engagement ring. It worked. We're engaged to be married.
What? No way.
I'm going to go in and get a wedding band and all that stuff. I'm going to sell the old stuff. And you can do it all right there in downtown Crystal Lake. All right, text line questions. I got a ton of them. We'll answer some of them. If yours doesn't get answered, go in and see Steve. You're there and you'll answer questions.
Yeah, we'll answer questions.
I'm not going to try and sell me anything. I get a free cookie whether I buy something or not.
Yeah, we've got to get more cookie dough. We're a little short.
Oh, good stuff. So speed round. I will ask you a bunch of the questions from text line. We don't have time for all of them. Just give the quickest answers you can so we can get to at least a few of them. Let's see. I inherited some jewelry that supposedly dates to the Gilded Age. Do you do appraisals? How expensive would that be? First, explain the question to people. Leah wants to know what the Gilded Age is. There were ages. There was medieval. There was the referee.
It was before record players.
Okay.
Long time
Yeah.
ago.
But yeah, we do appraisals. Not a problem. We have 3 gemologists on staff. There's 3 of us, and
does it cost money to get it appraised?
It does. It's $95 for the first item and $65 for each additional.
Okay.
What if they're coming in to sell something? Then you'll just tell them what you.
Yeah, we'll just make them an offer. There's no charge to get an offer.
But it's not an official appraisal. Is you get documentation of what something is worth.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
There's a difference between an insurance appraisal or something. How much will you buy this for?
Right.
So,
I got both for me when I bought the ring.
Right. Yeah. Because for insurance, you really want to make sure we can build another one if we have to
cover it full price. Yeah.
Right.
I wondered why there was a difference. It's not a lot of difference, but I wonder why those were different. Now I know.
Yeah.
Very cool. And the Gilded Age thing, that seems like that would be worth a pile of money, or you don't know.
Depends on what it is. We'd have to take a look.
Yeah. All right. It's like Pawn Stars, but without Chumley, which good. I don't like Chumley. They offered one of the guys for an interview from Pawn Stars last week. I'm like, nah.
Rick's a good guy.
Yeah. I saw him in Vegas. They were going to a club, and I'm like, hey, there's Pawn Stars guy. Upgraded my wife's 0.25 carat diamond to a 0.75 carat after 7 years. 5 years too soon. 10 years too long. Sorry, Leah. Kick hat in the family jewels. A ballpark, like when, if you were going to average when people are coming in and doing an upgrade or whatever, what year?
We're always willing to remount the family jewels, man.
Yeah.
So I would say, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, whatever you're comfortable with. And, some people upgrade and some people just want to rearrange and have a different style, what they've got.
Make it more like current fashion.
Make it more current, or they have some stones from grandma and want to incorporate that into it. Yeah, we can do all that.
Let's do 2 more. How much would a diamond tennis bracelet have increased in value over the last 20 years ballpark? Like gold and diamond and silver, those are all commodities, and they've always gone up. I mean, over time.
In the last 20 years, I mean, it'd probably cost you double for the same thing.
Yeah. So double on that or whatever. And gold continues to go up, and silver and all that.
Yeah. They're both up there. I mean,
it's when times are bad, those things are the things to hang on to.
Seems to be. Gold's just under 2,000. It's in the upper 18s an ounce. Yeah.
As a kid, I think it was like $75 an ounce or something like that.
I mean, it sat at 350 for years. Years and years. Yeah. And silver's 23 and change, I think.
Yeah. I had silver coins, and we went to the pool, the Burlington pool, and then afterwards we went to Spiegelhoff's and we got Suzy Q's, and I paid for them with my silver coins. I didn't know. I was a kid. I didn't know. I didn't know. So
don't do that. They're worth more.
What year was it? What year is 60?
1964 and older, and then with $50, it's 1970 and older.
Yeah.
Cool.
I used $50, bought Suzy Q's, and whoops. Let's do one more. Oh, here we go. In the movie Titanic, how much was the heart of the ocean worth? What as a jeweler, when you see, as I see radio things in TV and the movies, I'm like, that is just stupid.
Yeah, it's straight out. It's like, how much is the Hope Diamond worth? It's worth anything they want for it, because there's only one.
So when I say it's priceless, it's priceless. Whatever you can get for it.
Yeah, I mean, somebody wants to spend millions of dollars on it, they can.
All right.
You just brought up accidentally using a coin that you shouldn't have used, and I do that all the time with this coin. I have no idea where it came from, but it's been in my bag and I need to do something with it. Is this just $1?
What is it?
Is it just I have no idea where it came from, you guys.
Yeah,
Steve?
This is just one of those presidential dollars. I would spend that if I were you.
You would spend it
for $1.
So don't save it.
No, it's $1.
So America, we always went, and I loved dollar coins or whatever. In Europe, they have it for the euros, and in Canada, we make dollar bills out of paper, and they last like the average circulation age. They don't last long, a couple
What
of
about
months.
this, Steve? What's this?
We make that's a quarter, Leah.
What?
We make
No.
these paper dollars, and they don't last. They make metal ones, and they last forever.
Yeah.
And we've always tried to, for that reason, have metal dollar coins. Susan B. Anthony's, the presidential ones,
the old Eisenhower ones when we were kids.
But Americans won't do it. They won't get rid of the paper dollar bills. So we don't have these. And people are like, oh, I got a dollar coin. It's got to be worth something. Yeah, $1.
$1.
Susan B. Anthony,
well, because that's all I'm used to seeing.
$1.
I never had a president one. That's why I don't know where the hell it came from.
$2 bills are worth, you know what they're worth?
$2.
$2.
What about the $3?
If they're worth that, because some cashiers won't take them.
I know.
So,
there's exceptions to the $2 bills. If there's a red seal on it versus the green, they're worth more.
They're worth something?
Yeah.
How much? How much?
They can be $7 to $10.
Red seal $2 bill, if you have any.
Can be, yeah.
Can be.
I have red nail
They
polish.
can also be worth $2.50.
You can't do that yourself.
Oh, that's illegal.
You can write on money. People think you can't write on money. You can write on money. The only point it becomes illegal is if you try to alter it to make it look like it's worth more. You can write on money.
You can
all
sign
you
it.
want.
Yep.
All you want. Steve from Dalzell Jewelers. Thank
you,
for coming in
Steve.
today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Busy season coming up. If you're thinking about getting engaged over Christmas, go now.
Come see us. We're worth the trip.
Yeah. And the only problem with that is if you get it sooner, it burns a hole in your pocket. The minute I got that ring, I wanted to pop the question. It burns a hole in your pocket. So good luck with your engagement. Thanks, Steve, for making mine perfect.
Well, anytime. Thanks for
wonderful.
having us.
Downtown Crystal Lake or online at DALZELL and CO.com. Show notes from today.
Oh, let's hear them.
Chilled toilet paper made the list.
My favorite.
Paying with pennies made the list.
Okay.
Naked bike cop with a giant penis made the list. And that's what we have for you today.
That's
That's
it. All right.
Miss a show, miss a lot. We wrap things up next on Will Rock. We're just still chatting with Steve. I have a bunch more questions. If you have more questions, stop in and see him
man.
in downtown Crystal Lake.
Kara waved at the TV again.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Thanks
So
again.
many questions. Like I said, his profession is one of those ones where, like doctors and lawyers, you go to a party, people are like, "Hey, look at this ring," right?
Yeah, absolutely. But we're happy to answer questions.
All right,
You know,
all
there's
right.
a lot of them out there, and no problem.
Go over to the store and talk to him, though. Don't tackle him at the mall. Anyway, thank you for coming in today. 9:59.
Rain today with a high near 67.
Open phone Thursday. Tomorrow's OPT question will be about Halloween costumes because I have no idea. Leah figured her out. What do you think would be a good one? And your calls for anything you want to talk about. Plug your business, plug your band, tell somebody you love them, tell somebody you hate them, sing a song, tell a joke, yodel, fart, whatever. Tomorrow, best day of the week because it's all about you. Open phone Thursday, bright and early, 5 until 10. Jedmar coming in next. You have a good day. 95 WIIL Rock, the rock station.